describes about Jay and Vijay, how they got cursed by the four Kumaras. So I will read the verse number 16 three times. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuki. So I will read three times. Rishaya Uvacha Navayam Bhagavan Vidmas Tava Deva Chikirsitam Prato Me Anugrahascheti Yadadyaksha Prabhasate. Rishaya Uvacha Navayam Bhagavan Vidmas Tava Deva Chikirsitam Prato Me Anugrahascheti Yadadyaksha Prabhasate. Rishaya Uvacha Navayam Bhagavan Vidmas Tava Deva Chikirsitam Krato Me Nugrahascheti Yadadyaksha Prabhasate. Please recite.
Rishyuvacha Navayam Bhagavan Vidmas Tavadeva Chikishritram Krito Men Anugrahascheti Yad Adhyaksha Prabhasave.
Rishaya Uvacha Navayam Bhagavan Vidmas Tava Deva Chikirsitam Krito Me Nigrahascheti Yad Abhyasha Prabhasache. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, so let me read word to word translation. Rishaya, the sages, Uvacha, said, no, not, Vayam, we, Brahman, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vidma, did not, Tava, your, Deva, O Lord, Chikirsitam, wish for us to do, Krataha, has been done, me, unto me, Anugraha, favor, Cha, and Iti, thus, yet, which, Adhyaksha, the supreme ruler, Prabhasa say, you says. The sages said, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are unable to know what you intend for us to do. For even though you are the supreme ruler of all, you speak in our favor as if we had done something good for you. Purport. The sages could understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is above everyone, was speaking as if he were in the wrong. Therefore, it was difficult for them to understand the words of the Lord. They could understand whatever that the Lord, however, that the Lord was speaking in such a way, humble way, just to show them His all merciful favor. Text number 17, I will read myself. Brahmanasya param devam brahmana kilate prabho vipranam deva devanam bhagavan atma devatam. Translation purport. O Lord, you are the supreme director of the Brahmanical culture. You are considering the Brahmanas to be in the highest position is your example of teaching others. Actually, you are the supreme worshipable deity, not only for the gods, but for the Brahmanas also. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita, it is clearly stated that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of all causes. there are undoubtedly many demigods, the chiefs of whom are Brahma and Shiva. Lord Vishnu is the Lord of Brahma and Shiva, not to speak of Brahmans in the material world. As mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord is very favorable towards all activities performed according to Brahmanical culture, or the qualities of control of the senses and mind, cleanliness, forbearance, faith in the scripture, and the practical and theoretical knowledge. The Lord is the super soul of everyone. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Lord is the source of all illuminations. Thus, he is also the source of Brahma and Shiva. So, Lord actually is Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of everything, including all the devatas, demigods actually worship him, and all the Brahmanas, he is worshipped by everyone. So let us see what is going on here actually. That let me do the prayers. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shilakaya Chakshudam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Kadantikam. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So actually we can see what is going on here. That we are discussing that every single day, but yes, it's very nice to actually recite these leelas of the Lord, Supreme Lord, many times, so we can remember them, meditate on them, and actually get all the benefits. So these are like Jay and Vijay, they were not simple people, that they got angry and everything, it looked like human behavior, but actually, they didn't allow the four Kumaras, who were son of Brahma, and those four Kumaras got angry. So their anger was not the same anger what we show in this material world actually, because those Kumaras were the sons of Lord Brahma. There are four Kumaras: Sanak, Sanananda, Sanatan, and Sanat Kumar. So these four, and why they went to the spiritual world? Because they wanted to have the darshan of the Supreme Lord actually. But when they went there, they actually crossed the 6 gates. But at 7th gate, which was the last gate, then they were stopped there by the doorkeepers of Lord Vishnu. So these sons, these Kumars actually were Brahma's son. But how they came, they are Manasputra. Manasputra means Brahmaji was thinking about getting the children. It's not a combination of male and female, and normally that way the children are born. But they were Manasputra, they just Brahmaji thought about them and they came up like that, So they were Manasputra, and when they were born, actually, Brahmaji wanted them to become Prajapati, like produce the generation, because it was order of Lord Vishnu. That because after the inhalation, actually, Lord Vishnu sends Brahmaji, to produce all different kind of jiva souls, give them birth here, birds and all the plants and the snakes and all those, everything. Human beings. So everything is being produced by Lord Brahma. So Brahmaji produces Prajapatis, different Daksha Prajapati and so many Prajapatis, Swayambhu Manu. So these are all Prajapatis, and we are all their children, of these Prajapatis. So when the Kumaras actually wanted to meditate on the Supreme Lord rather than get into these children's and all those things, material things, so they denied Brahmaji that we cannot be Prajapati. Actually, we don't want to produce, we just want to celebrate and just travel and the preach, and meditate on the Supreme Lord. So that's what they wanted. So Brahmaji really got very mad because Brahmaji had planned, he had to follow the order of Lord Vishnu. So that's why he got angry. And then in the anger, the Rudra was born, from the eyebrows. So ultimately, those four Kumaras specified Brahmaji, and they behaved very nicely. They respected Brahmaji very nicely. So Brahmaji actually was very pleased with them, and he blessed them that because the Kumaras wanted that they should look only 5-year-old all the time, not get older. So although they are the oldest human beings, after Brahmaji is the oldest one, but after Brahmaji in this material world, the Kumaras were the oldest, but millions and millions year old. But when they went to the gate of the Vaikuntha Lok, they looked just like 5-year-old. So they crossed the 6 doors, and at the 7th door, actually, they were suddenly stopped by the Jai and Vijay. They were the doorkeepers. And why Jai Vijay actually didn't let them go? Because they looked only 5-year-old little children, and the children are not allowed like that, alone. They have to be accompanied by the parents, like in our temple also somebody comes, just children cannot come, they should accompany by their parents, so it's the rule. Also, those Kumaras, they were living without any clothes, there were nothing to cover. So they were like, they were not having any clothing on them. So they were they were naked, So the naked people cannot go, like you cannot go in the temple naked and anywhere, So that's a protocol of Vaikuntha Lok actually, So they were breaking the protocol, and that's why Jai Vijay was not in mistake, They knew what to do, what is their duty, and they remembered their protocol. So that's why they stopped, They didn't misbehave or anything. They didn't say any bad words. But the Kumaras, they were impersonalist, and they actually suddenly got angry because they were stopped like that, because they were saints, and they were millions and millions of years old, they had all experience in the world, so they suddenly got angry. And why this question comes, all the time, why the people like Kumaras, who were so much saintly qualities, how they can become angry, and this anger was due to, it was Krishna's Leela actually, that he wanted to take different incarnations through this Leela, and it was Krishna's Leela. So that's why he made them angry, because Krishna is sitting in their hearts, So as a Paramatma, so he just changed their whole mood and everything, and gave them the anger. It's not Kumaras who had the anger, actually, it was Krishna Leela. So actually, if you see, the Lord always very anxious to see his devotees, very, very anxious all the time, Like we can see how Sudama went to the gate of in the Dwarika, and how Krishna ran to receive him. Once he heard that Sudama is here at the door, he ran. So actually, Lord is very merciful to his devotees, and he runs behind his devotees, if it is pure devotee. So like that. So he was very anxious, but at that time, how he was stuck. His doorkeeper actually stopped to enter in the Vaikuntha Lok. So when they were stopped, actually, the Kumaras were very much agitated. So they said that these doorkeepers, they have very discordant mentality, and their mind is contaminated. That's what they thought. That's why they thought, that they should be put into the material world, and that's why they cursed them, that you go to the material world. So when the gatekeepers heard this, they suddenly realized that these are the saintly persons, Brahmanical persons, and they are cursing them. In the beginning, they thought these are children, they cannot curse like that, but when they heard the curse, that you go to the material world, suddenly they actually got into this realization that they are being cursed by these brahmanas, and then they suddenly fell down to his lotus feet, brahmanas feet, and they were saying that we are very sorry actually, and they said that you are correct in punishing us because we neglected the great souls like you. So we should not have done this, but somehow or the other we did it, and we feel very sorry for this. So please, they didn't deny that we don't want to take the curse or something like that, or just please give up the anger and let it be like that. They didn't say like that. They said that please give us the mercy that we can remember Lord's name, Supreme Lord's name all the time, even we are in the material world. Also, they say that we will, please give us the blessing that we will never, even we come in any form in this human world, but we never forget Krishna's name or his meditation in even for a minute. So that's why, and when they were saying like that, suddenly Lord himself came to the door. And why the Lord came? Because Lord is so merciful. And when he knew that this will be big problem now, and there is some fight, because Lord knew what is going on at his door, because Lord sits in the heart of everyone. So he knew what is going on. So he suddenly came on his feet only, bare feet, not without shoes or anything. And also he was accompanied by the Lakshmi ji. So he brought the Lakshmi ji. So in front of lady, their fight will not get too bad, too ugly. So that's why he brought Lakshmi ji also. So what was the Krishna's intent actually? Krishna intent was very different, because yesterday Parikshit Prabhu really explained very nicely what was the situation at the door when the Lord comes at the door. So Lord sees that these Kumaras, they have very anger, serpent of anger in them, because comes like serpent came in the form of anger, and Kumaras were not actually satisfied with the curse, but and then Lord actually talked to them in very sweet words. So why Kumaras actually got angry and everything? Because they committed Vaishnava aparadh. If you see, because Jay Vijay was great Vaishnavas, they were actually people living in the Vaikuntha Lok. So and they Kumaras actually committed aparadh against them to curse them, So they actually committed the Vaishnava aparadh. So when they committed aparadh, when Lord Vishnu was telling them in very sweet words, still their anger was not coming down. Anger was still there. And they showed great repentance that why we are cursed like that. So actually this anger, sometimes anger comes like that it doesn't go away. Even Lord is telling them in so sweet words, still their anger was there, it didn't go. So Lord was telling them very, very, which we already read, what Lord was telling them, that, but still their anger was there, and so actually because of the Vaishnava aparadh, anger was not going, and they could not comprehend what Lord was telling. Lord was telling them very nice words, but still they were not comprehending that what Lord was telling. And they were wondering for a long time when Lord said to them many, many things, which we already studied, that Lord is telling in our favor or not. Like in 16th, we are reading, that where he is, what he wants to intend. That's what they were asking in the 16th, what today's verse actually. even though you are supreme and you are talking so sweetly and you speak in our favor, as if we have done something very nice for you, but we didn't do anything, something so nice for you. So why you are speaking so much in our favor, not in the favor of your own people, Jay and Vijay, who are your great devotees and also your gatekeepers. So they could not. That's what in 16th verse Krishna is saying that, and 17th verse they are praising that you are respecting the Brahmanas, and also they are saying that you are worshipable deity for not only the demigods, but also for all human beings, all Brahmanas and people who follow the Brahminical culture. So the Kumaras are telling them, so these both verses 16th and 17 are spoken by the four Kumaras actually. And they are saying, without the Krishna was telling them that without mercy of the Brahmanas, even the dust of his lotus feet will not work. So like Brahmanas are more greater than dust of his lotus feet. So the Kumaras were wondering actually how the dust can be like Brahmanas may be so great. It is more potent than the so Krishna was not Krishna. Lord Vishnu was actually glorifying the Brahmanical culture and glorifying everyone else, who are his devotees, great devotees. So Lord Vishnu was praising Kumaras, but Kumaras were not understanding, why why Lord is doing this kind of thing, why he's praising so much. So Lord Narayan was telling in the support of the Kumaras, and he was saying that I approve this curse. And why he approved the curse? Because he wanted to perform the leelas. If he doesn't approve the curse, and then nothing will happen actually. How Jai Vijay will come to the material world, and how all these demons, the Jai Vijay will come in the form of demons, in Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga and Dwapar Yuga. So that was Krishna planned all the leelas. And why he plans his leelas, so we all can remember those leelas. See, we are discussing today also, when after 10,000 years again people will be discussing the same leelas. So Lord want to perform leelas, so years and years people can read those leelas, meditate on those leelas, and follow those leelas. Then that way they can meditate on Krishna and go back to Godhead, to the spiritual world. So this is the Lord's plan, because Lord is our well-wisher. He's so merciful. He wants all of us to come to the spiritual world and serve him there. So Lord is saying that this was mistake of my servants. He agreed that it was, although it was not mistake of his servants, but just to make them please, he said, because they have done bad thing to you. So, and he said that some in the material world, normally mistake of the servant is considered as the mistake of the master. So if you see that way, many times, sometimes there is a big accident in the train, then the railway minister has to resign because he takes all the blame on himself, So that way Krishna says that this is my mistake actually, because it is a mistake done by my servant. So I am actually at fault. And they say that my servants have insulted you because they do not know my heart, because they didn't know what I want. So that way, that's why they did it, So if you want, he said that I can chop off my arm even, if it comes in the way. So Lord is so merciful to his devotees. We can see the behavior of Lord and how the Lord speaks so sweet words. And Lord is saying in the 17th chapter that the people, who need protection, they should be given protections, like Brahmanas and the cow and the woman, children, and older people. So these people needs protection, and they must be provided protection. And Lord also in 17th verse explaining that how the Brahmanas should be treated very nicely. And he's saying that those people, who are protecting or helping the Brahmanas, they actually captivate my heart. And some people, the people, the devotees who tolerate the insult and treat the Brahmanas as the Lord himself. So with them, those people, and he speaks sweet words to Brahmanas, then those people actually can win the heart of the Lord. So actually we should be giving protection to the Brahmanas and older people, whosoever needs the protection, we should give protection, and that way Krishna gets happy. And the Lord is also saying that people should pacify the Brahmanas as I am pacifying you now, because Vishnu came himself, Lord Vishnu came himself at the door and pacifying the Brahmanas, the Kumaras. And that way people should pacify. And just Prabhupada is giving the example that like a little child, he pacifies his father, after committing some mistake, like some breaking some big toy or something, or throwing a stone on the TV and TV breaks, then what he said, oh father, oh papa, I'm very, very sorry. I will not do this next time, like that, being sorry. So this way, actually, we should be feeling sorry if we do something bad with the Brahmanas, because Krishna is saying the Brahmana is my heart, actually, and his Brahmanas are also heart of the whole society. So Brahmanas should never be treated with the harsh word like Jay and Vijay did. So actually Krishna is suggesting that Brahmanas should be treated with a smile. Any guest comes to house, they should be given nice smile, sweet words, and then they should be given at least some water and some seat for their sitting. So actually these things should be done properly. So actually, and the Lord says that even the guest has the bad face, like with anger, whatever, but you should have, the host should have a smile on their face. And it is said that the guest can have the face like cactus, but the host should have the face like a lotus. So this should be the proper way to behave, in this material world. So if you do that, Krishna will definitely gets happy. And there was a nice article in the Back to Godhead about this chapter. So I'm going to put some points, what points were discussed there. So he says that Jay and Vijay are the eternal servitor of the Lord, and Lord loves them very dearly. And we discussed this verse number 12, where Lord says the requesting Kumaras that they should not stay there too long because they don't want to live in the separation. And Lord also didn't wanted to live in the separation from his own doorkeepers, his dear devotees, So Krishna wants Jay and Vijay so much. And that's why he's requesting Kumaras that they should be sent back very soon, so they can finish their 3 births as demons. And as soon as they are done, they should come back. So at the same time, they committed offense, mistake by stopping those 4 Kumaras at the gate of Vaikuntha. And at that time, so actually Kumaras appear offended because they got the curse and they got angry towards the Jay and Vijay. But Lord understood actually why Kumaras got angry, because they wanted to see the Lord as soon as possible. So when somebody stops, if you are in a hurry, then you get angry very fast at that time. So Lord actually concluded that because Kumaras wanted to see me so eagerly, and they were so anxious to see me. That's why they got angry. And that's why he personally went there. And also accompanied by Lakshmi Devi. So Prabhupada is mentioning in one of the purport that the similar case of Haridas Thakur, because he was denied entry into Jagannath Puri temple. And but he didn't get angry or anything, and he returned back. He said, whatever all the rules of Jagannath Puri temple I should follow. So he returned back. But then what happened? Lord is so merciful that Chaitanya, Lord came, who was the Krishna himself in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was bringing the prasadam every day to Haridas Thakur, and also all the time, living with Haridas Thakur many hours every single day. And at the death of Haridas Thakur, he lifted his body himself, and he said that this part of the sea, where his body is immersed, that become the holy dham actually. So he still considered a holy dham there in Jagannath Puri, where his body was immersed in the sea. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his give big feast, he collected all the food stuff and everything, and he served all prasadam to all the devotees himself, So we can imagine, how much Lord liked the Haridas Thakur, who was chanting, who is Namacharya. He was chanting so seriously every single day, so many hours every day. So Lord is so merciful actually. We should say that there is even some impediment for a devotee. What happens? He comes himself, he takes care of it, like Haridas Thakur, there was impediment that he could not go to temple, so Lord will come himself. Here also, in this case, also similar thing is happening, that the Kumaras wanted to see Lord so eagerly, anxiously, and they were denied entry, so Lord himself came. So we can see that how it's very inspiring for all of us as devotees, that Lord actually is so merciful, and he gives his own darshan. He comes and gives us all his mercy. So what happens actually, we can see what happens Jay and Vijay. Actually, they were just serving, following the protocol. So what happens they did? So actually, Prabhupada is writing that if you do offense to any devotee, that is offense, our offense to the Lord also, because Lord gets angry also. So they offended the Kumars, who wanted to see Vishnu, and they stopped them. So that's why they said they committed mistake. But Lord actually, but that mistake was done because why they curse him? Because the Lord wanted this way. So Lord is very politely actually accepted offense of Jay and Vijay, like a offense committed by himself, that I did mistake, And Lord is saying that this servant of mine have transgressed against you. So, not knowing the mind of their master. So, Lord is saying that they didn't know what I wanted actually. And that's why they committed this mistake. But at the same time, he is saying, give me a favor that they come back to me, return in my presence as soon as possible. So that means, we can see that how much he liked the Jai and Vijay. Lord wanted to make happy both parties, and sometimes it's very difficult. But he's the Supreme Lord, he can do anything. So he didn't wanted their time in the material world too long. He wanted just short time, and his Jai and Vijay comes back, So we will read in the 29th chapter, 29th verse, actually what Krishna wants, in few days. And Lord actually is assuring Kumaras in the next few verses his appreciation for the devotional service, what service they do, Jay and Vijay. So he didn't want to make Jay and Vijay angry or anything, because anything, even they do something, according to their duties, Lord never gets angry with them actually. Even the Kumaras actually offended Jay and Vijay and cursed them, but Lord doesn't take seriously, because he gave them that kind of mentality that they act like that. So this is the reason they actually got cursed. Otherwise, Kumar will never give curse like that. And Lord is all the time very eager to protect his devotees. And that's why Lord is saying that I can even cut my arm if it is hostile to them. If arm is doing something hostile, like hostile activity towards anyone, he can cut his arm also. What to say about punishing other people, he can even punish himself, for the devotees. So devotee can be confident that way, that in his practice of devotional service, he should understand that although this material reverse, sometime we get into material world. Like in the morning, we are very much, we do chanting and attend Mangal Aarti, attend Bhagavatam classes, everything, our mind is actually in the Lord. But then we go to work, and then our mind actually bewilders, goes here and there. But Krishna actually excuses us as long as, we remember him, we meditate on him. So even we can see Prabhupada's example that some devotees, fell down, went out in the material world again after being great devotees, for so many years. But when they returned, Prabhupada actually cried for them, he hugged them, and he was very happy that he returned back. So actually, Lord is also very eager to protect his devotees always, No one actually, or no one, any person or any condition actually can prevent a devotee from achieving the perfection. Because if we want perfection, we can actually get it. It's not the Lord, who is against us. It is us, who are actually wandering here and there in this material world. And our one leg is in the material world and one leg we want to go to spiritual world. So we have to see how we can be perfect in our devotional service and how we can take this devotional service seriously. So actually we can see that on the other hand, what Lord is doing, he is glorifying the attitude of Jay and Vijay also. And at the same time, he's making those four Kumaras, Brahmanas also happy. So Lord is doing very great job actually. Here we can see, and Kumaras can understand actually that Lord was speaking so sweetly to them, like if the Lord was wrong himself, like that actually my people made the mistake, and it's my mistake actually. That's what he was telling, So it's very wonderful, how Lord has so much, sweetness in him, and that's why we have that song, by Vallabhacharya, Adaram Maduram. Everything of the Lord is so sweet, and we should actually relish that sweetness. So Lord actually is the supreme controller of everyone, and he's the cause of all the causes. And he's worshipable by, like given in the 17th chapter, he's worshipable by all the demigods also, and all the Brahmanical culture also. Krishna values Brahmanical culture so much that he shows example himself by worshipping Brahmanas. Like the four Kumaras now, he's worshipping, almost, and he's making them happy. And because he's causelessly merciful to Brahmanican culture and all the Brahmanas, cow, everyone, go Brahman Hitayacha. So Krishna actually gives all the favors to Brahmanas and the cow. So actually when we say Brahmanas, that means they are Brahmans, the cow, and also Vaishnavas. It includes both. Vaishnavas are automatically Brahmans. They are more than Brahmans, much more, bigger than Brahmans. Because Vaishnavas all the time practice the essence of Brahminical culture. So this is a great devotional service actually. So we can see here what happens to Kumara. Kumara later on, we will read that they become very soft-hearted now, and they started regretting that why we curse Jay and Vijay. Who they realized actually that Jay and Vijay are pure devotee, servants of the Lord, and they understand their mistake actually later on. And they knew that these are the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord, and they have all good qualities. That's why Jai Vijay, we can see in the whole chapter that they never got angry. They just did what they had to do. And when they got cursed, still they didn't become agitated. He said, whatever Lord want. So their behavior was so great. And we can see how great qualities were there. So actually they made the mistake of stopping the four Kumaras, and they realized their fault also. So Lord is saying in 29th verse that he can nullify the curse by the sages, but he chose not to. Why? Because he wanted actually it to happen, and that's why he gave his approval. Because what he was doing, Lord was fixing his term of 3 lives, that how I can do the 3 leelas in different three, he called his 3 yugi. He comes in the 3 yugas. So he wanted to come in 3 yugas through the medium of Jay and Vijay. So, and he also wanted to fight with his own people, because Lord cannot fight with any materialistic people, who can fight with the Lord. So his own people, his own dear devotees can fight with him. Like his friends, were sitting on his back, and eating with him, nobody can do that, because Supreme Lord has his personal life, he cannot play. Like nobody can become the mother of Krishna or father of Krishna, because these are positions are taken already, and Lord has fixed idea, who will be his mother, who will be his father. So nobody can take this post. So Lord had planned, how to come to material world, so to perform his leelas, so we can remember them. So he wanted Jai Vijay to come to material world as demons, and after finishing his leela, their dispositions, they come back to the Lord's abode again. So that way, this whole Bhagavatam was set. So Jai Vijay appeared like Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh in the first, like in the what do you say, the first yuga and Satyuga, and setting the stage for the Varahadev to appear, because Varahadev, Hiranyaksha who killed Varahadev, and then Hiranyakashipu, he came as Narsimhadev, as well as we can see the appearance of Prahlad Maharaj also at that time. And then in the Treta Yuga, he appeared as Lord Ramchandra, and he performed all the Leelas, and he killed Ravan, and Jai Vijay came in the form of Ravan and Kumbhakaran. So this all was said when these Kumaras actually came, and the Jai Vijay cursed them. This at that time Lord was setting all his plans, what will happen. So Lord Ramchandra was appeared like that, and he performed all the lila, and went in the forest, and liberated all the rishis, munis, who were doing and who wanted to see the Lord. He gave darshan. And also in the Dwapar Yuga, he came as Lord Krishna, and he killed the Jai Vijay came as Shishupal and Dantavakra, and that's way the Leelas goes on like that. So in every yuga we can see Lord comes, in the Kali Yuga actually Lord comes as in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is the hidden avatar. And so many people, who are karmis, they do not know Lord Chaitanya, who is Lord Chaitanya, but Krishna comes to encourage all the devotees, and he distributes his mercy freely, and he gives his name. That just by chanting, he made it so easy that just by chanting Hare Krishna, or doing the Sankirtan, we can be liberated like that. So, also Lord will come in the form of Kalki at the end of Kali Yuga, because Kali Yuga still is 427,000 years, and at the end time, when people, all the population will be so degraded that they will eat. It's all described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that how the people will behave. Their memory will be short, their life will be short. They will eat each other. There will no food, enough food grains. So many problems will come. So Kali Yuga is going bad and bad every single day, and so worst condition. Still Prabhupada's mercy is here now, and it's a golden yuga, golden age now. Prabhupada said 10,000 years will be golden age. People will be participating in Sankirtan movement, and everything will be all right. So we should take advantage of this golden age and get liberated some or the other. And that's what Prabhupada said. Just give me this lifetime and you will be liberated. So Prabhupada wants only this. We have millions and millions of lifetime, and we wasted all our lives like that and continue our cycle of birth and death. So Prabhupada is requesting all human beings that please make proper use of this human life and just give this life to Krishna. Whatever age you are, you can still make perfection and come back to me. This is the Prabhupada's words. So we should take advantage of that and somehow or the other engage in the devotional service as much as possible. And but when we say possible, it's I can only do this thing, I can only do 4 rounds, not like that. We have to try our best so we can actually go back to Godhead. So here we can see that 4 Kumaras were cursed. Their curse was unjust, and harsh. But this is the Lord's play, actually. It was not harsh curse, actually. It was Lord's will, because Lord was sitting in the heart of Jay and Vijay, and also in the Kumara's heart. And that's why the Kumaras could give the curse to them. So there are many questions actually appear. So we will discuss 1 or 2 main questions, like how Jay Vijay, who were living in the Vaikuntha Lok, how they can fall to this material world. So because we read in Bhagavad Gita the shlok yad gatva nanevantante tat dhama paramam mama, that whosoever comes to my dham, they will never fall down from there. Also in Bhagavad Gita there is another shloka, very famous shlok, ma upatti punar janma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahamanah samsiddhir paramam gatim. So napnuvanti means they never return back. They never return back to this temporary world. Once you reach there, you stay there. So Krishna guarantees these things, So how Jay and Vijay actually return back from the material world, how they came to material world actually, when nobody can fall from the Vaikuntha Lok. So we can here Jiva Goswami actually explains that actually this was not the simple fall, not a normal fall. In the they came down because of the will of the Lord, and they came from spiritual world and they went back to spiritual world. Normally it doesn't happen. People who fall down, they do lot of nonsense in this world, and then they go to lower planetary system. But they came from spiritual world and they go, and all in their 3 lives, as a demon, they participate in the Krishna's Leela of the Supreme Lord, and they were not conditioned in any way by karma, because Jiva Goswami is saying, although they were in the Asura body, internally they remained spiritual, in the spiritual form. So So just like in the drama, we can see some player or actor putting the costume and the mask on him. But actually within himself, he's the same person. Like we can see the people who play the drama, like Mukta Sangha Prabhu plays the drama of Jagai Magai, and he drinks, and he acts like a drunkard, but actually inside he's a devotee. So like that. So they were putting a costume of Asuric body, but they were inside the real devotees, and they were not conditioned by Maya. So this was the great thing. And they were remembering Lord all the time. So this was not normal fall. So we cannot say that in this condition, like even though they were in the material world, but still they were remembering the Lord all the time. So in 29th verse, we can see what Lord was telling the Jain Vijay, that go to material world, do not afraid, you will have good fortune, but also do not go that word. It means don't follow that material world, stay in the spiritual world, like that. So even though you are in material world, you can live like as if you are in the spiritual world. And Lord is telling that I can nullify the curse of the Brahmanas. I do not want to do so because it has my approval, because Lord wanted to come here and it was Lord's approval. That's why he said. So we will read the very interesting verse actually, and we will be reading in few days. So other questions, in one of the class I heard that the Shishupal and Dantavakra, which was the last in the end of Dwapar Yuga. So they got into body. Everybody saw after the Mahabharata, that they were after Shishupal was chopped off by the Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Krishna, then his body actually merged into body of Lord Krishna. Everybody saw that. But then how they went to Vaikuntha Lok? If their body was in the Lord's body. So actually they came out of the Lord's body and then they went to the Vaikuntha Loka. So, and the last question was discussed in the class was, so they were sadhana siddh, those Kumaras were sadhana siddh because they were impersonalist, so they were like sadhana siddh, or they were fully liberated. So in the answer, Maharaj was telling that Kumaras were actually, they were liberated person muktas, and they had potential to be completely liberated and go to Vaikuntha Lok. And it seems by their behavior that they were above all the gunas, and that's why they were liberated. So actually there are two kind of mukti, liberation, two kind of mukti. One is Jivan Mukti. In the Jivan Mukti means liberated while we are still in this material body. So we are in the sadhak body as a sadhaka. And so, but sadhaka body also we can get liberated when we do the practice, but we still live in this material world. It's not like when we are liberated, we suddenly die and go there. We can finish our life, whatever is given, and then we can go to spiritual world. And then other kind of people, other kind of mukti is Adhyantika mukti, which people get liberation after they give up this sadhak deha. One can get liberated even in this body, and other is Adhyantika is they get the liberation after they leave this sadhak body. So Kumaras were Jiva Mukta. That means they were in the sadhak deha, but sadhak body, but they still were liberated people, and that's why they could go anywhere. Otherwise, normal person from this material world, they cannot go to the spiritual world in the same body, but they were liberated souls. And that's why they could enter into the spiritual world. Similarly, Narad Muni, in the beginning, he had the material body, but later on, he got this spiritual body, and that's why he could travel anywhere he want, and he did that. So I will end here, and we can discuss if there is any question, comments. Thank you very much for listening. Hare Krishna, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Kaivalya Prabhu, for such nice explanations and understanding of this pastime. It's very helpful every day when I'm listening to the different devotees speak in your class today. It's just helping me understand a bit more and more, not just the details of this pastime, but also how to apply it in my personal life. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. We are referring like Prabhu said, we are listening different speakers, different ideas, and how Krishna he just justified for both the parties. It's very difficult. If both of them does something mistake, it's very difficult to solve that. But he did it very nicely, and we have to learn from him that as a nice lesson. If something happens for two parties, justifying is hard, but it's a smiling way, and he did it. That is really something. So we are listening through all the different devotees, these classes. So it's very interesting.
Lord is actually, he's a supreme Lord, he can do anything.
Yeah.
He can make everybody happy in this material world, or everybody miserable if he wants.
That's true. And then we have to learn lesson also from that. How he did and what he did. But in this Kali Yuga, if we do like that also, it's not helping. It won't help. I don't know how it is has to be helped.
Somehow the other Lord wants us to remember meditate on his Leelas. That's what he performed all these Leelas, and this whole thing happened.
That's why he is Lord and we are human beings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Nice class.
Anyone else?
Thanks for giving me singing also.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. And God is always merciful, Lord Krishna. So that's what I remember. No matter what, you keep going. Thank you.
Yeah, I really like your explanation. You give from different angle why giant Vidai appeared, why they become demon. Yeah, he gave the example of the Lord want to fight, and he has to choose his own devotee to fight. He cannot choose with anybody. So that's why this pastime happened. They were cursed, and they were given like seven lifetime to be devotees, or 3 lifetime to be demon. They choose to be lifetime so that they can return back. They can come back to serve the Lord in the spiritual world. And he gave very, very nicely explained different point of view about why the Lord why this incident happened. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
I think it.
So we can end here.
Thank you very much.
Panchakalpatarubhyasya
Prasindobhyev cha patitanam pavane Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Anantapoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Tanya Candra Das.